Uh, it's hard to believe that we're finding out that there is going to be an Islamic foot washing station or voodoo area in Dallas Fort Worth International Airport. How did this happen? We'll get into that. Who is paying for it? How did it happen without anybody knowing anything about it? Also, baby Gabriel, the baby that was born to a surrogate mom at Children's Medical Center in Dallas, is born and is alive, and the parents are being shamed by God, the biological parents, if you will. I want to get into the WNBA and the complete and total absurdity that they've made of themselves in What is a Woman. Carmelo Anthony, we have some real secrets coming out about Carmelo Anthony and allegations of abuse in his household. Ruh-roh. McKinney recall. City of McKinney trying to do a recall because they didn't like the way they don't like the way the city council is operating. All that coming up. But first, this show brought to you by IRSprob.com. That's IRSPROB.com, helping good people with IRS problems, specializing in IRS controversy, IRS audits, and tax planning strategies. Okay. DFW Airport was seemingly sneakily trying to have a $300,000 voodoo foot washing station put into DFW International Airport Terminal D. It will be, if it goes through, which apparently it will as of right now, if it goes through, it will be attached to a prayer room that is not supposed to be a Muslim prayer room. It is supposed to be an interfaith prayer room. I want to start this out by saying something. There's a woman in here who I made contact with, and I'll have her on the podcast probably next week if she's got the time. Kira something or other, and she was in a viral video earlier this year where it was basically saying all the prayer rooms were in the Dallas Fort Worth International Airport are taken over by Muslim prayer rooms. They're Muslim prayer rooms, and she said something today online that's very prescient, very important. It cannot be a Muslim prayer room if we don't seed it as a Muslim prayer room. She goes in there and she says it's all Muslim prayer mats, the Muslim thing on the ceiling telling you where to pray toward Mecca, which way is north or whatever it is. And there's Muslim prayer rugs everywhere, but no Bibles, no crosses. And so she said, don't seed the ground, go in there and pray. She said that many men that were Muslim were making her feel uncomfortable when she was there. There was another pastor who is quoted, I think, in either Texas Scorecard or Dallas Express, which I'll share with you in a minute, as saying when he went in there, he was blocked and stopped from being allowed to pray in there because he was not a Muslim. Here's the deal. Don't seed the freaking ground. Now, don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that anybody should do anything wrong. Nothing negative, no bullying, no nothing, or harassing or bothering. What I'm saying is, if you don't want this to be a Muslim prayer room, and this includes me, pray in there. Pray in there. Bring a Bible in there. Man, I got some extra Bibles from our Bibles Not Qurans passing out from, I don't know where they're at, somewhere in this house. My wife puts things everywhere, right? But I would absolutely love to bring in Bibles next time I'm in Dallas Fort Worth International Airport. And I think we need to use the prayer facilities as Christians and be bold, not rude, not demeaning, not negative, not mistreating of people. And I think we should use the foot washing stations and use them for whatever you want to, you know? And this whole thing is over supposedly because, well, Muslims are washing their feet there and they're making it all slippery. I'm going to tell you something, man. I have lived in Dallas-Fort Worth for 16 years, over 16 years, and I have flown in and out of this international airport. I mean, just this month, this year so far, you know, we're 8 months in. We're not even fully 8 months in. I have flown to Chicago twice. I have flown to New York City twice. I'm sure I'm missing a few. I don't fly a lot, but, I think we flew to Florida. I don't even know anymore. Whatever, you know how it is. But what I'm saying is, I have never in my 16 years of flying in and out of Dallas-Fort Worth as my home base. I have never seen slippery floors everywhere because I've never seen a man washing his feet in the frickin' airport. So there's some supposed need where we need washing stations for Muslims who want to pray. But I have never, let me tell you something else too. I have, there's some condition I have, and it's not a big deal or anything. It's just my feet are sweatier than most people. Not horrible. They don't smell or anything. It's just so gross. I don't mean to. But my point is, I had to learn earlier on. I have to change my socks twice a day instead of once. And you shift different shoes. You don't wear the same shoes day in and day out, and that's all you got to do. And of course, make sure your feet are clean. But earlier on, and over the 16 years I've lived here in Dallas-Fort Worth, I've had athlete's foot maybe once or twice because of that. But earlier on, when I didn't know that I had any issues or how to treat it, it just happened a little more regularly. And I remember I have sat in the frickin' bathroom of my home. Doesn't matter where the hell I've lived over, 24, 25 years of radio, moving all over this country. I have stood up in my bathroom and I have had my feet. I literally talked about when I was on the radio in Madison, Wisconsin, my second radio job, like 2002 or 2003. I remember I was talking about standing up like a frickin' stork. I was standing up on one leg, and my other foot is up here like this, like cock-eyed, whatever, and then my foot is in the thing, and I'm washing my foot, standing up like a freaking stork, all right? I have washed my freaking feet standing up in my own bathroom on and off over the years with athlete's foot, because you got to do it twice a day. You got to apply the stuff right afterwards and try them and all that stuff. And I don't make a mess in my own freaking bathroom. This is a lie. I'm going to call it out right now. This is a freaking lie. And by the way, if you are following me, you can chime in if you're watching right now on Rumble and YouTube. Here's the address to follow me on Rumble and YouTube. Because if you comment, I'll see it in real time. You can tell me if you've seen this. First of all, I've washed my feet on and off over the years in the sink with athlete's foot in my own bathroom. I don't freaking make a mess on the floor. So that's a lie. So there's not a problem there. Number two, I've never seen a man washing his feet in the men's restroom in 16 years of being in and out of DFW International Airport. Number three, I fly in and out of Chicago O'Hare all the frickin' time. I flew in and out 3 weeks ago. That's my original born and raised hometown where all my family lives. I've never seen anybody there in Chicago O'Hare International Airport has these Udu foot washing stations for Muslims. I've never seen a man. And I mean, dude, I spent my first 24 years flying in and out of Chicago, 25 years, whatever it was, 26 years, I don't know. Point being is I've never seen this crap going on. So I think this is BS. I think, and they're not answering who is paying $300,000 to build a foot washing station, and why is it attached to the prayer room when the prayer room is supposed to be non-denominational? Well, I'm telling you to respectfully and kindly, but openly, use these facilities for your Christian prayers, your Jewish prayers, whatever faith you are. Because if you seed it, then it is theirs. And I'm not saying that a Muslim doesn't have a right to pray in this country. And I'm not saying a Muslim doesn't have a right to use a prayer room that's non-denominational, but I'm saying it's becoming Muslim prayer rooms because people like you and I aren't using them. I live and breathe out of this office 24/7. This is my business, this is where I do my Bible study. Every morning, I read a little bit of the Bible, my Dr. Jeffress devotional, and I teach Sunday school, so I dig in real deep when I teach, which is about half the time, out of the, about twice a month. Half the year I do teaching. I journal, and I read there's a godly book I read. What does that mean? I'm praying. I spend time in my office doing that. And what that means is I should also do that when I'm at the airport. And if I don't be surprised if it's called a Muslim prayer room because nobody else prays there. That's all. So they can't, quote-unquote, take it if we don't seat it. But this whole foot washing station is BS. And yes, if I come across that freaking thing, I'm going to use that thing. I'm going to sit back, big white boy, do whatever the hell I want. If I want to wash my hands, brush my teeth, whatever, I don't know. Not to be nasty, but that is not a Muslim thing. But here's the other thing. It's for everybody to use. Use it. If your little kid or toddler drops a deuce and it's messy, go to the foot washing station and what's the old saying? Not the old saying? The new saying? Wash your ass. wash your kid's ass in that baby in the foot washing station, dude. Seriously. If your kid's butt is nasty, wash that kid's ass right there in the foot washing station, and nobody ain't gonna say a damn thing about it, because if your kids, and this is just I have two children, you know what I mean? They're adult children now, but I have two children, and I could have used an ass washing station for the kids from time to time, you know, when you're out and about. Okay. No, they're not saying who supplied the $300,000. It was donated. How much do you want to bet it was done? Was it done by Epic Mosque, East Plano Islamic Center? Was it done by the government of Qatar, who is putting billions into our schools and not only colleges and universities, but schools, public schools, to make us despise Israel and support radical Islam? So that is not known right now, and we're gonna find out. What else? One person said, if you need to wash your feet in the airport, then you're probably in the wrong country if you're in America. And I would agree. It's not an attack on Muslims. It's just a fact. Muslims make up only 1 to 2% of the population in DFW and in Texas. So what is this crap where we're going to have a facility to wash your feet for one religion? No. And again, use it. I'm being serious, man. Use it. Get in there, and again, don't be disrespectful or mean or rude, but go in there and wash your face, wash your hands, you know, whatever. Do whatever you want. Brush your teeth in there. I don't know. And pray in those places. And you know what? You know, as Christians, we're not supposed to be beating people over the head. That whole thing where you should pray in your room and without, you know, letting other people know, that's true. But also, God doesn't call us to hide our faith. And so you go to these prayer rooms and you pray. And you know what? Kneel or sit and just open up your arms and pray to God out loud. Not rudely, not being a jerk, not loudly, but do it. Don't be afraid. And have your camera ready to record if some a-hole tries to intimidate you. Don't let them. And if they do, turn that phone on and keep it on. And politely but firmly stand your ground. Don't go starting things. And by the way, you know what's going to happen, unfortunately, with all this craziness. Some idiot is going to do something stupid. And then CARE will come out, and all these CARE, Council on American Islamic Relations, a foreign terrorist organization properly labeled by our governor and the governor of Florida. But right now, Chicago O'Hare, Indianapolis International Airport, and DFW have these things. You know what's so funny? I'm filling in Chicago in the morning, and I'll be on in Indianapolis on Monday. So why does this stuff follow me in the news when I'm filling out in these cities? I'll be on in Buffalo, New York tomorrow afternoon, too. Just look at my social media feed if you want to hear me on the radio in the morning for 4 hours in Chicago on Friday morning, and on Friday afternoon in Buffalo, New York. Okay. The airport already maintains dedicated prayer rooms for Muslims and provides Qurans on the shelves, one person says. It is not a prayer room for Muslims. It is non-denominational, so go in there and pray. Don't seed the ground. It's a thoughtful response to requests from passengers. The DFW airport said this providing these foot washing stations is a thoughtful response to requests from passengers. From what passengers? I don't believe it. I want to see how this came in, and that's what State Senator Tan Parker is asking for. He sent a letter to the board of directors for DFW International Airport. I've got it right here, and he wants to know a handful of things. DFW appears to be setting precedent about who may pray in the public facility without having a written rule. What would govern the next request? Is it written policy that the people are allowed to have foot washing stations, and that somebody can just make these facilities without public approval or public notice? Who approved this, and how was this approved? He wants to know. Please identify the source of the private funding. My bet's on the government of Qatar or Epic Mosque or something like that. Please explain the basis. He asks also for withholding. who it is that donated $300,000. We're going to know. We have a right to frickin' know. The Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport is owned jointly by Dallas and Fort Worth and is governed by this board of directors. So we have a right to know. This is our airport. Also, he asks State Senator Tan Parker in his letter to DFW International Fort Worth Board of Directors, would DFW apply the same standard on the same terms to any other organization or faith community offering to find a permanent faith facility modification? I think that we should literally look also at, like, because there's people that are Christian with lots and lots of money that would donate. And I think that, I mean, I don't know, what can we do? You know, what do we want to do? Our Jewish friends would like some accommodations. Maybe our Hasidic Jewish friends, you know, the devout Jews. What ongoing maintenance, water, custodial, and utility costs will be applied? Who will pay for that? What public notice, if any, was provided? These are the questions Tan Parker wants to know. He's the chair of the Texas Senate Committee on Transportation. Get the facts. He will. He's out of Flower Mound, I believe. What else do I have from Texas Scorecard? The woman I mentioned, Kira Davis, says they were mini mosques, the prayer rooms, when she was there several months ago. Like I said, she should be on the show maybe next week because she and I were corresponding. She will come on. In fact, I've got a video from her I got to play for you. Let's see. This is her in one of her viral posts about, she was in the prayer room. She's like, this is being taken over by Muslims. Look.
I'm the only woman in this job. I've seen 5 Muslims come in prayer. They've all been very mean. They don't want me here, but this is the chapel. There's not a single cross in here. But there's 100 prayer rugs. And they'll tell you how to get to Mecca. Dallas, you have a problem.
God bless that woman, and I have invited her on the show. Like I said, we were corresponding back and forth, so she's willing to come on, and I'm going to have her on because this is really serious. And she said this, and she's exactly right. She said, go and find your airport chapel and claim it. Pray there. Leave a cross and a Bible and a note. Do not cede this ground. I agree. Baby, this is so special. And I want to give it the specialness it deserves. Baby Gabriel, surrogate mom, a hero, and I have her information here about the GoFundMe. I retweeted it out yesterday. In fact, let's see what what she's raised so far. 56,000. I don't even know if that's updated. Let's see if I can. I don't know how to redo it on my screen here, but I think it's more than that by now. Anyways, she there she is. She fled. She was a surrogate mother. You've heard the story. This is all over NBC News. I'm going to play a piece of NBC News literally making the surrogate parents who wanted to kill the baby, because the baby has a condition that basically says the left, like, ventricle of the heart, or the left portion of the heart, is not able to do anything. It needs to be reconstructed. And Children's Medical Center in Dallas literally has a 100% success rate at 3 separate surgeries to the baby. One immediately after birth, which was just done. Praise God. And then 2 more are coming. Mom is a surrogate mother. She's a registered nurse from Alaska. Has a child. Has her own child. And she agreed to do this for a surrogate couple out of California. But they literally, when they found out that this child had this heart defect, they wanted to kill the baby. And she said, I've got the quotation in here, that, let's see what she said exactly. But she basically said, there's no way I was going to let them inject a chemical in my baby, then rip my baby apart in my uterus. So she fled to Texas, where what she did was she did her research as a registered nurse and found out that Children's Medical Medical Center in Dallas literally is 100% effective. So there's no reason to kill the baby. It's 100% effective. And they have perfected this procedure. I think it's called the Norwood procedure. And so the parents tried to stop her. They threatened her. They threatened a lawsuit. They threatened to take $250,000 from her. And now I'm going to tell you this right now. You listen to me. This is not me being a religious zealot. But when you pay a woman to have a baby, two people, Nasheen Gil Khan, 43, and Omar Ahmed, 45, when they pay a woman $250,000 to raise their baby in utero, and then to give birth, and then to give them the baby because they're the rightful parents, and there's a condition that's easily fixable with a 100% success rate, and they say kill it, and she does what she did, which is research, and say I cannot let this baby be killed, and flees to Texas because she finds out that it's 100% successful. These parents have been shamed by God. I'm not saying this as a religious zealot. I'm saying the naked fact that they demanded she kill that baby, and that she gave birth to that baby, and that baby is alive and exists, and now the only way to kill it is to kill it with your bare frickin' hands like a murderer. They are by default shamed. God is shaming them with the naked truth that they now have custody of this baby in California. The procedure was done. They have to kill the baby with their bare hands, making them murderers. And now that it's been born, or neglect medically and then go to jail, I'm sure, for medical neglect of a child with a procedure that is 100% effective, at least at Dallas Children's Medical Center in Dallas. God is shaming them, and they are outraged, disgusted, and angry that they have been thrust into the public eye, says their attorneys. Good! Why are you outraged? I know why you're outraged. Because you wanted to kill the baby, and he's alive. God is shaming you by fact, by nature, by truth, by his nature. He created nature. The clients are, quote, focused on the baby's health and following the advice of medical professionals about treatment for his hypoplastic left heart syndrome. And you know what I wrote right here? Is, wow, she saved a life. This woman right here, McKenna saved baby Gabriel's life. Let's see what it says in Deuteronomy 16:17 there. Every man shall give as he is able according to the blessings of the Lord your God, which he has given you. Okay, according to their attorney, the couple is devastated over the attention to it. Shame on you. That's your problem. You've been exposed. Everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows you wanted to kill the baby who's alive. Everybody knows that your child's going to grow up and know that you wanted to murder him. I don't know how it feels. Can you imagine being your age or my age and knowing your parents tried to murder you? What's your self-worth? What's the message to you? The only thing you can do is know that God loves you and that he spared you and that you were spared for a special purpose. Despite her best efforts, the parents told the mom, Miss West, McKenna West, that he and his wife had already removed the baby's 12-week ultrasound from their fridge. Once they found out, they removed the fridge, told her she could mail the 20-week image that she got from the baby checkup, but they'll only send it to an envelope to him. I guess that means mom's like, kill, and dad's like, well, kill it, but I still want to see a picture of him. The hospital, Texas, has a 100% success rate. That's Children's Medical Center. Baby would need right after birth, which he got. Meanwhile, the baby would have been 24 weeks pregnant at the time of the abortion. Mom was appalled at the idea of injecting her baby with a solution that'll stop his heart. Then he'll be literally ripped apart and dismembered as he's taken from my uterus. Amen, Mom. Good job. The biological parents threatened a $250,000 lawsuit against her, making her pay everything. But that's what's been great, too, because the expenses have been paid for her, And in fact, I would like to see. Let me go to. I'm going to scroll down to that. I'm going to. Here it is. Okay. Let's see what she's got. Okay, she's up to $59,000. So this says 56. So she's up by $59,000. I would really urge you to donate. It's on my Twitter feed. I'm going to retweet it again right now. Or X feed at Chris Crock Show. That's at Chris Crock Show. CHRISKROK. Okay. The attorney for the parents say it's been devastating for the intended parents, the intended parents, to see the baby's health condition transformed into a political theater. You did that by trying to kill your baby. Meanwhile, the satanic new law that was passed by Massachusetts saying you can murder the baby up till right before the baby's born, right at time of birth, before the baby comes out, you can kill the baby. And then Maura Healey, a supposed Catholic, signed that, and everybody was clapping, and she was smiling. Now, a Catholic group called Catholic Vote is demanding that she be excommunicated by the church. In fact, she, by default, what she did, it is excommunication. The president of Catholic Vote says canon law, which dictates that anyone who procures an abortion or assists somebody in procuring one incurs an automatic latae sententiae excommunication. I love the term excommunication. I use that as a joke because I'm a former Catholic boy. You've actually excommunicated yourself by default, he says. In July, the Catholic bishops of Massachusetts released a joint statement calling the proposed legislation a radical measure which is gravely immoral. And that's the reason you can be excommunicated from the church committing something that's gravely immoral. The letter was signed by the 4 Catholic bishops of Massachusetts: Boston, Worcester, Fall River, and Springfield. I mean, so there's just no question that she violated Catholic faith, and they should kick her out. I mean, there's just I'm not a Catholic anymore, but they should, obviously. Okay, coming up next, you have to hear the latest. McKinney is now WNBA. I cannot wait to get into the latest on all of the WNBA. I'm going to show you 2 little girls who met Sophie Cunningham and got her autograph and were crying. These 2 precious little girls. It's the sweetest thing. It makes my heart melt. I saw it earlier, and I have to download it and put it up here so I can play it for you. I didn't watch it again. I want to be raw and emotional when I watch it again. It'll be my second time watching it. And it's so amazing because they're trembling and they're crying. It's like when the Beatles came here. Remember that? When the people, I wasn't here. I wasn't on Earth yet, but you see the videos of women screaming when the Beatles showed up. And it's like that, but it's deeper because they see her and they want to be her. And they're crying, they're overwhelmed. She's their hero. Meanwhile, the WNBA is trying to crush that, even though they're called DW, Women's National Basketball Association. So we'll get into that. And then Carmelo Anthony, actually, what just came out today, I believe his attorneys are leaking this on purpose. They're saying, and the report from the Daily Mail today in exclusive, is that Carmelo was abused. Was it an abusive family home? Oh, the parents who lie and say it was an all-white jury when it wasn't an all-white jury. Whose grandmama says it was racism and bias that convicted her murderer son. Turns out that this shameless bid, as the Daily Mail calls it, is all saying that he was in an abusive, violent home. Wow. You can hear all those details coming up next. But first, this show is brought to you by IRSprob.com. Randy Martin's been my CPA for 10 years, and this past year was the biggest test because 2025 was the first year that I went solo, and my business is thriving between my podcast and my fill-ins all over the country and on network shows. But he did the taxes for me, and I can't tell you how amazing it is. Now, if you have IRS problems, you need to use them. Maybe you have a death in the family and there's some tax issues with that. Maybe your business is having some issues. Maybe you got some issues. And maybe you just want a good tax planner and everything's fine. Randy Martin does all of that. Also planning for retirement stuff too, for taxes and all that stuff. You have to use him because he's that good. And here we are 10 years ago, me and the team. This is how long Randy's been my CPA. Look at that. Look at how young we are. And all four of us girls right there, just us girls, we're all still, they're all still there. I'm still here. We're all still, the band's still together. Go to irsprob.com, irsprob.com, or call 214-214-3000. And tell them Chris Crock sent you. 214-214-3000, irsprob.com. I didn't buy this house until Due West Foundation and Plumbing did a static test to make sure there's not a leak in any of the plumbing. I didn't buy this house until Due West Foundation and Plumbing inspected the foundation. And then over the last 11 and a half years, Due West has done every repair for plumbing and foundation. They did all the root shields around my house so the roots don't go under my foundation and destroy it and my pipes. They regraded my backyard, and they do so much. They do plumbing and foundation. Don't ever use a company that's not both plumbing and foundation, because they will ruin each other. The plumbing goes through the foundation. Don't mess around. And you have a plumber. These guys are my plumbers. So that's how good they are. My wife worked at Due West Foundation and Plumbing for 3 years. And Jim is a friend. His wife Mary is a friend. His sons Johan and Adam are friends. And Jim's dad started the business in the 70s. And Jim took over for Dad. He started working when he was young, as you would imagine. Jim works hard. He's a great guy and a good friend. He also hosts Texas Home Improvement here in Dallas-Fort Worth on TV and radio, and in Houston and in Austin. Check it out. They were just at my house a week ago. Snake in the line. And replacing my T&P valve, which is the temperature and pressure valve that goes out after about 8 years. That's my awesome water heater that still works perfectly that Due West installed way back when. T&P valve replaced, no big deal. Call 972-406-0912. They do retention walls and concrete leveling as well, okay? 972-406-0912, or go to du-west.com. That's du-west.com. All right. WNBA. Paula Scanlon, the swimmer who has become another outspoken advocate for women and girls, which she's great at, said this today. She said, multiple meetings now the WNBA has had to figure out what the W in the WNBA stands for, and they still haven't come to a conclusion yet. It's because they're woke, and the wokeism and leftism eats itself, and that's what's happening. It destroys itself. Here's a great quote. This is a guy who wrote a short little letter to the editor. It's like 3 sentences, maybe even 2 sentences, in the Wall Street Journal today. He says, Enes Kanter Freedom and Royce White, the 2 guys declaring for WNBA draft, Enes Kanter Freedom and Royce White have presented the WNBA with an epistemological conundrum, distinguishing the fake women from the fake women. So, like, you got a guy who says he's a woman, like Enes Kanter Freedom, and you got a guy who says he's a woman who says he's transgender, like, quote unquote, for real. Well, a fake woman and a fake woman. Which one's the right? This is great. I think I have some video to play for you too. Maybe I don't. This is it. This is what I wanted to play for you. All right, these are 2 little girls getting Sophie Cunningham's autograph. Beautiful Sophie Cunningham, who stands up for girls and women. She didn't even try to make this an issue. Somebody asked her. She answered the question. Let's watch these beautiful little girls.
Yeah. You are so welcome. How old are you guys? 10. Have you guys started school? Yeah? No, not yet. Next week. Oh, there you go.
Thank you so much. Have a great.
Those girls are precious. Look at them. I cannot wait to fill in on Monday morning in Indianapolis. Look at those girls. Look at them. Let's go a little bit along here. Let's just stop here and look at her. Right? They just start to cry. They're so excited. They're overwhelmed. They love her, and they're getting her autograph. This is what the WNBA is supposed to be all about. It's a beautiful thing. They're destroying themselves. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. You are so welcome. How old are you guys? 10. Have you guys started school? Yeah? No, not yet. Next week. Oh, there you go.
Thank you so much. Have a great.
Those are beautiful little girls. That is so precious to me, you guys. Oh my gosh, look at them. Look at those little, oh, those precious little ones. Oh, oh, makes your heart melt. I think I'm having this guy on in the morning in Chicago who I'm about to read a column for. Let's see. I think it's, hold on. Yes. That is so funny. This is his column. I'm having Ed Morrissey from hotair.com on tomorrow, and he wrote a great column. He's going to be on my show in the morning filling in Chicago. WNBA meets to this. And by the way, if you're in Central Standard, here it is. I got the schedule. I got the rundown right here. He'll be on 8:08 Central time tomorrow morning on AM 560 The Answer, Chicago's Morning Answer. If you need to know where the details are, just go to my social media feeds and you can just Google it and listen live. You can even watch it live on YouTube if you want. They stream me live from my home studio here in the morning. Okay, WNBA meets to discover definition of a woman, Ed Morrissey writes. Who decides? They talk about the bad faith efforts. WNBA says bad faith efforts. They're talking about Ennis Cancer Freedom and the other guy, White. I think it is Royce White, saying they're declaring for WNBA draft. And they say that these are bad faith efforts, and they met to decide what a woman is. Who decides what a bad faith effort is? If somebody who has been identifying as a woman and he's a man, and he's got the big swing and you know what down there, how is that? Is that a bad faith? Is that a bad faith effort? Is Ennis Cancer Freedom a bad faith effort? I mean, what is it? What is the definition? Is it just what you decide arbitrarily? You can't do that. In fact, their whole contract for the WNBA, or their whole thing on WNBA and women, they have no definition of what a woman is. And they don't know what one woman is. I know what it is, and look, I've never written this down. I never thought about it. A woman is created by God. God creates a woman with two breasts, whether big or small, a vagina, two ovaries, wider hips, narrower shoulders, less bone density, less lung capacity, and less muscle mass. That's it. That is it. They have an X. What is it? The XY chromosome? It's XX and XY. I think women are XY, aren't they? What the hell do I don't even know. I don't care. I'm gonna XX. Women are XY chromosome. Let's see. XX. Okay, wait. Oh, I don't want to do. WebMD is gonna lie to me. Or XX. Let's see. I think it's XY, right? Oh my gosh. I can't trust anything here. I gotta find there we go. XX are women, XY is men. Okay, thank you. So anyway, there you go. So it's that easy. All right, sorry, I'm getting bogged down on one little thing. Okay, WNBA says in the coming weeks and months, they're going to be trying to figure this out. They need weeks and months to figure out what a woman is. I just described what a woman is unscientifically. Will it take Women's National Basketball Association weeks and months to define the word women when they are the Women's National Basketball League? Isn't that funny? Ed Morrissey writes. He says the WNBA... now the NBA retired NBA players are turning the WNBA into a senior division of the WNBA. Excuse me. Now the NBA players that are retired are turning the WNBA into a senior league of retired NBA players. So it's so funny. The league couldn't parse an easy way out of their own trap. Right? Exactly. Meantime. Former ESPN reporter, I'm not a sports guy. It's obvious. Sam Ponder says, you can't stand for something you can't even define. That is exactly right. Why do they even call themselves the WNBA? They can't even define a woman. They can't be the WNBA. And this coming in from Kimberly Ross of the Washington Examiner today. Given enough time, Leftism eats itself, and that's exactly right. I've told you it's just like public libraries, where the leftists in public libraries have turned it into, what do you call it, transgender strip dances or whatever you call it, transgender drag shows for children, and junkies and homeless people going in and showering and overdosing and being administered Narcan. Librarians don't want to call that out, not all of them, but leftists who run the library systems of this country have destroyed the libraries. It eats itself. This from, oh gosh, this is great. Resurfaced WNBA posts show the league celebrating males who stole wins from female athletes. They have to allow men in the WNBA, or they have to delete all their posts like the DSA candidates do. In June 2021, a post from WNBA's official X, formerly Twitter account, celebrated two guys who competed in the girls' high school track in Connecticut and were the center of a major legal fight. Our first WCW WNBA pride goes out to these two guys who are transgender guys. And they wrote, "We see you, we support you, all the other trans athletes just trying to compete in the sports they love." But what they didn't do is mention the girls who these two guys pushed out of the competition and stole their dreams from. They didn't mention Selena Solé, Chelsea Mitchell, Alana Smith, and Ashley Nicoletti. WNBA's post didn't mention them. And I showed you the picture of our girls, our crying girls, right here. I'll play a little piece again.
You were so welcome.
Those girls. Those crying, sweet little girls right there. Oh, look at those sweethearts, okay? Our little girls are depending on us. Our little girls are depending on us to defend them. These little girls are our little girls. All of our little girls are depending on them to be defended from the likes of the WNBA.
Have you guys started school?
Our job is to protect those little sweethearts. That's our job. That's our job. And that's what Sophie Cunningham's doing. I love this. I love this, that everybody's standing up and call this crap out. In 2021, the WNBA also tweeted out a league press release saying that the WNBA Social Justice Council's priorities was LGBTQ advocacy with a focus on trans rights. And they would conduct educational sessions for WNBA teams on trans inclusivity. They have to allow men to play in the WNBA, or they have to delete all these tweets and celebrations. Quote, "When I have to compete against a transgender athlete," one of the girls said, who was snubbed by the WNBA instead for the transgender guy who beat her. "When I have to compete against a transgender athlete, I just feel completely defeated before I even run the race," said this one girl. "I knew I had a chance against the other girls, but not against a male athlete." Put the men in the WNBA and let the left be eaten alive. That's what has to happen here. That's what I say. You got the WNBA's message to the two transgender guys that defeated him was, "We see you, we support you." So you have to see and support men like Enes Kanter Freedom and Anthony White or Royce White that want to compete. If they say they're women, they're women. And what do they say? Believe all women. The new collective bargaining agreement, quote, says only players who are women are eligible to play in the WNBA, but they don't define what a woman is. Here's one more thing from this column in Fox News today. 4 female athletes told the world they were losing championships. These are high schoolers in college. They told the world they were losing championships, advancement opportunities, and recognition because they were being forced to compete against men. The WNBA didn't issue a statement representing or expressing concern for their well-being. It didn't announce that it needed to engage stakeholders to make sure female athletes were being treated fairly. That's who they are. All right. McKinney wants to recall all of their city council members. And the unspoken thing, they're not saying it's because of the mosque that was allowed to be built in McKinney, 7-0. But that's what it's about, among with other things. But I'll tell you this, if you don't like your city council, okay, then you vote out your city council. I got no problem with this. They have until September 26th to submit 5,800 valid petition signatures. If they're successful, this is from my friend Erin Anderson, journalist at Texas Scorecard, she was on this show, was it this week? A couple days ago or something, right? Or was it last week? I can't remember. If it's successful, the recall decision goes to McKinney voters May 2027. The other 3 city council members that are not being recalled are also up for election in May, so that's why they're not recalling them. Here's the thing. What might shock you is, come May 2027, who's going to vote? How many of us, conservative folk, show up at the polls and vote when it's not an election year, big election year, when the presidential, ticket isn't on there? How many of us show up? I heard a statistic. I don't know if it's true, so I'm not going to say it's true, but I heard a statistic that 20% of McKinney voters or residents are foreign-born. If that's true, most of them are going to vote against this. I would not be surprised, because the left, they show up for all the elections. So many of us don't. I would not be surprised if this fails once it's on the ballot. I hope it doesn't. I hope that if the people want it, they do it. This is going to be a real test of who is McKinney, who lives in McKinney, and who is motivated to vote. So that's the story there, and so I wish them the best. And they have a website, which I'm happy to share with you. It's called McKinneyRecall.com. McKinneyRecall.com. So if you want to support it, you want to go there. If you want to share it with people live in McKinney, McKinneyRecall.com. And I wish them all the best. Oh, to explain that McKinney Mosque, though, why it was approved, you need to know what the story is. The story is this McKinney Mosque has been there for, I can't remember now, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, something. I don't know what. And 2 years ago, in 2024, they went in front of the zoning commission in the city council in McKinney, and they said they wanted to take their mosque from like 15,000 square feet or just under 15,000 square feet. And they wanted to make it to 45,000 square feet. They wanted to triple the size of it. The McKinney City Council, obeying the zoning ordinance restrictions, all 7 said no. It even could be all 7 of the same people that are in there. I don't know who was there 2 years ago. Excuse me, my little cough button there. I don't know who was there 2 years ago. They've all voted unanimously no. So this time when the mosque came back, they instead followed zoning ordinances, and they said, we want to build 3 new buildings. None of them will be beyond 15,000 square foot. One was a gym, one was something else, and one was something else. I don't know. All I know is this. They met the criteria, and that's why they voted it in. And journalist Erin Anderson from Texas Scorecard, which is a very conservative publication that I support 120%, she's like, well, the truth is that they had no choice. If they would have voted no, they would have had to give a reason, and it checked all the boxes for variances, so they can't say no to it. And if they do, they're going to lose in the lawsuit. But I still support people recalling them if they don't like them, if they don't like what they're doing. That's absolutely fine. I wish them all the best. Carmelo Anthony, this is incredible. Get ready for this. Carmelo Anthony's shameless bid. This is an exclusive from the Daily Mail. Carmelo Anthony allegedly endured, quote, substantial abuse at home. Those parents who lied, it was an all-white jury. No, it wasn't. You're liars. 3 of them were, I think it was 3 Muslim. I think it was a Muslim woman, 3 Hispanics, and 2 Indians, as in from India. That's what I believe the jury was. That's 12 plus whatever it was, 6 alternates or 5 alternates or 3 alternates. So there was a Muslim woman on there, 3 Hispanics and 2 Indians, something like that. It was a diverse jury. And 2 black teachers were struck because teachers were all struck because teachers is a very common one. They say, hell no, especially in a case like this where you have a youth, a stabbing, and an involved school event. They are very sympathetic to people that murder, like Carmelo, apparently. So Carmelo Anthony allegedly endured substantial abuse, quote-unquote, substantial abuse at home before plunging a knife into Austin Metcalf's heart. This is an exclusive from the Daily Mail. This is brand new. His legal team claims that was left out under trial under a secret agreement with prosecutors. Among the most shocking claims that Carmelo Anthony was a, quote, victim of family violence and that jurors might have reached a different verdict had they known about his alleged history of abuse. In reliance upon the agreement, the defense also did not go into substantial family violence. Mr. Anthony had witnessed substantial family violence and had been a victim in his home. Is daddy beating mommy? Is daddy beating Carmelo? Is mommy beating daddy? Is mommy beating Carmelo? I don't know, but this is what Carmelo's team is allegedly saying, according to the Daily Mail exclusive. Anthony's lawyers wrote this in a July 7 documents calling for a retrial. Now, my theory is that his team leaked this. It's all about tainting and putting pressure to trying to get this case a retrial or an appeal. It's not going to win. They're not going to get it. I've told you this from day one before this came out. The whole thing about a gentleman's shake, and we agreed this and that. It doesn't freaking matter. This case followed the letter of the law to the T. Judge John Roach went out of his way. He's an excellent judge. My hairstylist used to cut his hair, by the way, and says he's an amazing sweetheart man. And my haircut lady is Hispanic. She's not a conservative. She's like in the middle somewhere. She's half liberal, half conservative, mostly independent. And half the time I talk about stuff that I do on this show and on my radio shows, she doesn't like my positions. But I love the woman. She's a sweetheart, and she loves John Roach. Just so you know, that gives you an idea of what kind of person this guy is on a personal level. When you cut his hair for years, she doesn't cut his hair anymore, but she says he's an amazing guy. Okay, that tells you everything you need to know about who this guy is. But anyway, this is desperation. I believe they leaked this to taint things and try to put the pressure because Carmelo is not going to get an appeal. He is not. Well, he can do his appeal like any standard case, but he's not going to get a retrial. He's not going to get what he wants. It's going to fail. I told you that appeals are granted, I think, in Texas like 4% of the time, and they win 1% of the time. He is not going to get it. He is not going to successfully get a retrial or an appeal. Here we go. Prosecutors will agree not to use Anthony's cell phone records and school disciplinary history in his court. So there's allegations from his attorneys saying that he was in a violent, abusive household. Maybe he was abused. Who knows? Now they also agreed to shield his cell phone records and school disciplinary. So this kid was, I told you this since day one, he was filled with rage. His parents moved here from Baton Rouge to escape whatever's going on there. You bring all your problems with you. In Baton Rouge, he's not living in some sub-Saharan African third world country. It's America. You don't leave Baton Rouge to come here to get a better life. That's not how it works, man. This country's great. You want a better life? You want to move a mile away or 5 miles away or whatever. You don't need to move here. This is a family that's been in trouble for years. They have horrible disdain and hatred for white people and stuff. They're permanent victims. They raised their son to be a rage-filled guy who acts like a thug. Quote, I don't know why, in good conscience, any attorney would have agreed to these terms, says the race hustler, convicted black baby beater, and fake civil rights guy, Dominique Alexander. I don't know why, in good conscience, one attorney would agree to these terms, he's told the Daily Mail, adding that neither he nor Anthony's family was privy to the deal. You guys picked him. Carmelo picked him. Mom and Dad picked him. You got your guys, and you picked him, and you lost because he's a murderer. Allegations, though, it'll still be a steep battle, uphill battle in the appeal, according to experts, says the Daily Mail. I've been telling you this for like a month, since the case was adjudicated. Maybe that was 2 months ago. I don't remember. I think that this is going to be a hard hurdle, defense attorney Lisa Figueroa told the Daily Mail. She's not involved in the case at all. Of course it is. I told you this. I've been telling you this. So there you go, Carmelo. My. Isn't that interesting, huh? Okay. I want you to know something. If you go 8 years from when you last got your roof, and there's a lot of insurance companies after 8 years that will not pay you the full value of your roof if you have a storm, a hailstorm that, whatever, if your roof needs to be replaced. A lot of insurance companies after 8 years, if it's been 8 years since your last roof, will not give you the full value There's something called ACV, RCV, actual cash value, real cash value, and I'm a member of USAA, which is the best insurance company in America. They don't do that. But when she was here, my adjuster and my friend and my sponsor, John Hopkins from Blue Ribbon Roofing, was here. She said, yes, that's true. And we're not doing it. And John said, not yet. And she goes, yeah, one day we might. So what this means is you got to get somebody who is good, like John Hopkins from Blue Ribbon Roofing, to get on your roof just to see if there's any damage. My roof was replaced 7 years ago, and I thought it was a joke that I would need a new roof. John's like, no, you need one. And he went on my roof and he showed me. Here it is. He went on my roof and showed me. There he is. This is my old roof. See that? That's my old roof. And sure enough, my insurance company, they don't pay stuff out and do things if they don't believe it. They replaced the roof. And
See that
here
white
you go.
line?
Yeah, whoops. Here you go. There's my roof, my new roof. It's black. It's beautiful what they did. And these are class 4 shingles. You need to get class 4 shingles. What does that mean? Class 4 shingles will, and here's what they look like. Class 4 shingles will give you a discount. I got a $613 a year discount off my policy from them. Class 4 shingles will resist a lot more and withstand a lot more. Period. They're the best. Ask for Class 4 shingles when you go to Blue Ribbon Roofing. They replaced my decking. When I got my roof done 7 years ago, they didn't know or didn't care that code in my city and in most cities, code says that if your decking is too thin, it has to be replaced when you replace the roof. And I got new decking, and I did not pay for it. My insurance company did. That's them replacing my decking. Second of all, I got a whole bunch of beautification things done to my house from Blue Ribbon Roofing, and it's absolutely insanely amazing. My house has been blown up for the best. Did I finally get my gutters and put them up here for you? I'm going to do it right now if I don't have them up. I'll be so PO'd at myself. Did I finally? Nope, I'm sending you my gutters. I'm putting my gutters on. It's going to take me a second, but I'm doing this because I'm so PO'd. I keep forgetting. I'm PO'd at myself. I keep forgetting to send these new pictures to you to show you my gutters because they look so good on the house. This is the kind of cool stuff. Okay. Now it'll show up here and I can throw it on the screen. These are the shutters they built from scratch and stained and everything on my house. Look at those beautiful things. This is the beautiful door that they installed and stained on my house. My house is a whole different house. Now I'm going to show you the cool gutters in just a sec. This is John and his wife Tish on the right and his son Trevor and his wife Jenna, and they win Best of McKinney year after year after year. Here's the picture with you got to see this. These are copper shingles. Come on, download, please. Download. I'm waiting for the stupid picture to download. There it is. And I got to put it on here for you. There you go. Copper shingles, baby. Look at that. Look at how freaking awesome that is. The black is brand new. The copper shingles are brand new. Those accents. The house looks amazing. It's like a whole facelift. So go to blueribbondfw.com, blueribbondfw.com, and tell them Chris Croc sent you. Tell them you want those Class 4 shingles. They are absolutely the Porsche of roofers for the right reason. Okay? We have, I want to tell you another story about something that's really riveting. A young woman befriended a guy, and several months go into the friendship, and then one day he says, meet me at this place. She gets into his car like usual, but he has a handgun. He takes her that night, and he abducts her, and he takes her to sex traffic her in 4 cities on that first night. Months she would be drugged up, given amphetamines, held against her will, until finally she told one of the sex traffickers, one of the Johns. I mean, it's not a John, you're being sex trafficked, but I'll say that for sake of ease, that she was being sex trafficked and she was a victim, and she finally worked with the courage. He helped her escape. As she was escaping, the thug that pretended to be her friend to groom her violently attacked her and beat her in the hallway, and people from the apartment came out, saw it, and broke it up, and then she was free. This man was charged with lots of things. This was in the New York Post. kidnapping, human trafficking, racketeering, and promoting prostitution. It's everywhere. I'm in Dallas-Fort Worth, and we just had an adult bookstore in Dallas called Paris Adult Bookstore that literally was trafficking minors out of the back. Minor sex victims. So you could be going to buy an adult, toy or something, or a video, and in the back of some teenager being sex trafficked, a minor. I want you to help stop it. I want you to help women who've been sex trafficked. There's one ministry that I donate to. It's a Christian ministry. They provide licensed professional counseling to victims of sex trafficking. And North Texas Giving Day is coming up, and this is all about North Texas Giving Day. You can donate right now and help these women who grow up thinking it's their fault. They grow up, sometimes some of them are sex trafficked by their own parents, believe it or not. There's the address you can give and donate to Thrive Counseling Services. This is their logo. They think it's their fault. They're afraid to ask a judge for a second chance. They're mad at the world. They blame themselves. And Thrive Counseling Services partners with several great safe houses. These are safe houses for women. And they have no advocates but these counselors. These are licensed professional Christian counselors. And these women find God. They find a church. They get a job. They get their kids back. They feel valued and loved for the first time in their lives. Donate. This is an incredible thing. I worked with this ministry for about a year. So I want you to donate. You can go right there and then just donate through that link right there. I'm going to give you a QR code as well so that you can donate that way too if you prefer the QR code. And just do it right now. This is, I only have 2 ministries that I donate to regularly on autopilot. This is one of them. Donate, please. All part of North Texas Giving Day. Donate now. Early is fine, okay? Thrive Counseling Services. God bless them. All right. Look at the names of these safe houses in Dallas-Fort Worth. Refuge City. Alive at Last. The Poema Foundation. That's very well known. And Exodus Ministries. Exodus. You're leaving. Getting out. It's emotional for me, Whew. Did you know that the Dallas Express broke a story that there is possibly illegal rideshare fraud going on with illegals, possible illegals, and possible rideshare fraud, where there's a scheme that is alleged that people that might even be illegals are hanging out. They have many devices, like a cell phone, what do you call it, a tablet, and they're all sitting out there. And then when somebody gets a ride share, they take it, but they leave the device here on the airport premises, so it still looks like they're in the queue. So then the legit Uber driver who's waiting in line over there is still in line in the queue and hasn't been bumped up. And they send others and others. So this is a scam, as reported by the Dallas Express. Now, it's not 100%, they're saying, but they did a reporting on it that it sure looks like it is. DFW Airport Police publicly confirmed they're actively investigating this now. State Senator Tan Parker, Flower Mound, who I mentioned earlier, on the foot washing stations. If you missed that, go to the beginning of this podcast and watch it. Do not miss that. DFW Airport Police Assistant Chief Joshua Cousins says he's highly alarmed at this possibility in this investigation from the Dallas Express. They came out with a story last week that inside the bounds of DFW Airport, we have a ride-sharing scheme being run by people that are here in the country illegally, said State Senator Tan Parker. He asked whether the allegations mounted to a racketeering operation. Absolutely, if it's true. One man was approached by journalist Carlos Tercios, a friend of mine. He's been on my show for on and off over the years. He interviewed this guy who denied holding a work permit, denied holding a green card or H-1B visa. However, Dallas Express says you can still be in on other immigration categories and be legal. They don't know if he's illegal, but he looks like it might be. So a veteran driver told the Dallas Express that he had repeatedly reported the suspected queue manipulation to Uber to no avail. So we're going to see, Tan Parker also said, quote, He had asked about fake accounts, spoofed GPS, and covered license plates being used to run unauthorized rideshare pickups to the airport. This is my favorite story of the day. This illegal, who's been here for 37 years and still can't speak English, is bitching, excuse my language, but is bitching that she should be given amnesty. She has the audacity to appear, give us her name, and bitch, and she still doesn't speak English 37 years later. I'm going to jump through this a little bit.
Les pido que sean campeones de un cambio a la ley.
Oh, sí, no hablo inglés. Vámonos afuera de los Estados Unidos. Get out of here. The translator will take over for this woman here.
Nacidos acá, que
Listen to this entitlement and this anger, and she's entitled.
igual sufren el dolor físico y psicológico.
It is not just that someone like me, who has been in this country since 1989, who pays taxes, who is a homeowner, a business owner,
Who doesn't speak the English?
who gives work to others, someone who has children and grandchildren who are born in this country, that I have to suffer the psychological and physical abuse.
Más humillación.
If she wants to suffer some abuse, let me start over again. Hold on. I don't want to be nasty, but maybe this woman needs the glove. So, have you heard about this? ICE is going to start using the glove. They're looking at it, spending $20 million on these gloves. It's like a taser, but it's through your glove.
I'm just gonna go for your gun or something. Okay. So I'm gonna go for your gun. Oh God! Oh my God! Did I make a sound? Because that sounded awful.
Subject not being grabbed while they can't take it down. Man was gonna grab you. Stay standing, take it down. Ready? That's crazy. Any words or more? No. Awesome. Thank you, man.
If you hadn't have done it, would you have any idea of what it was capable of?
If I hadn't have done it, no.
Que es un arresto violento.
Este muchacha necesita una glove. She might need a glove. Get out of here, lady. By the way, will the Trump administration deport her soon? I really hope they do, actually.
Que a la vida de una cárcel de inmigración.
And that I have to also suffer the humiliation that is the violent arrest and detention in an immigration detention center.
I think they need to cuff her, stuff her, and deport her, but there you go. She says she wants everybody who's an illegal that's been here for 7 years to be given amnesty. Lady, you just made up something. Oh, 7 years. Why 7 years? I made it up. Actually, she can't even say that in English. Get out of here, lady. I hope they deport her. I'm not meanly, not rude. She's like, I own a house. I pay taxes. Great. Go to Mexico. Take all your riches you've gotten here and leave. White House Board Czar defends ICE electric shock gloves. This is it. By the way, do you think the glove, and I'll show it to you again real fast, not going to show you the whole thing again and bore you, but do you think that Alex Preddy, that this glove would have been good for Alex Preddy? Do you think this might have saved Alex Preddy from being shot and killed? So absolutely, they could have used that glove on Alex Preddy, the violent, unstable man who was attacking ICE vehicles and obfuscating ICE, constantly carrying a weapon and showing up and being violent with ICE. That glove could have saved his life. Absolutely, those gloves are important. IDF kills Hamas commander who took part in October 7th attack in Israel. There's the picture. I am so happy. IDF Thursday, today, killed Hamas commander Jamal Mahmoud Abil Kamel, who was one of the terrorists who carried out the deadly invasion of October 7th. And I couldn't be happier. The Star of David will find you and kill you, bastards. Every one of you. Kill you, satanic Islamist bastards. He reportedly served as the director of police for the Gaza Governorate, the primary municipal police authority in Gaza City. That's why we can't disarm Al-Qaeda, or Hamas will not disarm itself, because Hamas is embedded into the people. 72% of whom support Hamas even after the terror attack. They love what they did. I don't want any people from Gaza coming to this country, ever, and they do not deserve, nor should they ever get a state. Israel said no deal on this, giving them their own state, and a peace deal for Hamas to surrender. Good, Israel. Stand your ground. Did you see this guy who was in the Navy who jumped, or hear about this guy in the Navy who jumped overboard on the Abraham Lincoln, and the wife's complaining, and the left is making her a big hero and making him a victim? dude, he's suicidal apparently, dude. The guy's got problems, and it's not because they were deployed for 9 months, okay, or 8 months. That's not why. So no, your husband's got psychological issues. No, there might be issues with the ship and being an extended deployment. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that's not a legit story. This is a guy who needs psychological help and maybe shouldn't be in the military. Unless are we seeing, how many people are on the USS Abraham Lincoln? I'll just make up a guess. Let's say there's I know there's a ton of people on. I don't know. I'm going to say there's 2,000 people on that. Maybe there's 5,000 people on that aircraft carrier. I don't know. Let's go conservative. Let's say there's 1,000. Why is only one person jumping off the boat and not 100? Why? And there's probably. Let me check it out real fast. How many people are on the USS Abraham? How many sailors are on the Abraham Lincoln? See, there you go. Roughly 5,000. One person jumps out of 5,000. Get out of here. Are you single? I'm not asking because I'm not looking. I'm asking because I'm asking. Are you single? Do you, maybe you went through a divorce. Maybe you have a death. Your husband or your wife died, maybe. Maybe you've just been single and you're always going to be single. But the question then is, do you have a support network? Do you have a family? Do you have friends? Do you have a good church home? There is a class that is so amazing for singles at Prestonwood Church in Plano that it is so amazing that members are paying me to tell you about it. Have you ever heard, and I'm being serious, Prestonwood staff approved this ad campaign, but they are not paying for it. The members of the class are. That's how amazing this class is. They have so much fun. It's a great community. That's why I start out with that, because it's if you're in need of a community, a support network, and people to love and to do Bible study with, and a lot of fun. They do volunteering. They go to events like East Coast swing events. They do car shows. They go do roller derby. I'll show you some pictures. It's an amazing place with amazing people. Here they are doing not roller derby, but skating. Roller skating. Here they are doing free play, which is where you play video games and you eat and everything like that. Here's all the preaching. Look at how big this is, because Pastor Brandon's got a lot of great people that go to this because he's very, very good at what he does. And they have a lot of fun, too. Look, they give big hugs when you arrive there. It is every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. And here is where you can just go to Facebook and Google that. Resonate Singles, Prestonwood Church, Plano. I'm telling you, make the trek and go. It's so good that its members want to pay me to tell you about it. Okay, there is Mountain Fetus. Okay, I don't know what that says. Somebody sent me a link on Rumble. I'm not going to click that because I'm doing a live show, but that's okay. Thank you. All right. But you can comment if you're watching on Rumble or on YouTube, and I will see it in real time, okay? I answer stuff that you do on my posts and stuff like that, too. But okay, Resonate Singles Bible Study at Prestonwood Church. It's ages 30s plus. I'm going to put on the screen, too, now. I'm going to put a barcode, or what do you call it, a QR code that you can scan, and that'll take you there, too, okay? I'll give you a little bit more information before I get into Tarrant County Commissioners meeting. 2 men have been jailed for acting out in the Tarrant County Commissioners meeting. I have a lot to say about that. If I can find I'm the technical director, Here we go. The QR code for Resonate Singles. That'll take you there too. Okay. Resonate Singles is. Oh, that's the wrong one. Whoop-dee. Sorry, hold on. This is the one. That's the right QR code. Hello. So funny. Okay. Resonate Singles Bible Study, Prestonwood Church, ages 30s plus. Wednesdays at 6:30 at Prestonwood Christian Academy building in the Horn Room. Just go to Prestonwood on Wednesday at 6:30 and ask, where's the singles class? Meaningful support and Bible study, warm fellowship, and they do lots of fun stuff. Vibrant community of Christian singles. Warm fellowship before, during, and after. Afterwards, they'll go to Jimmy John's, Chili's, Snuffers, Free Play, Fuzzies, and just have a great time. Great preaching and everything. Go to Resonate Singles, Prestonwood, 6:30 every Wednesday night. It's worth it. Trust me. Okay? Men who were kicked out of the Tarrant County Commissioners meeting face jail time, says the Star Telegram. And we're supposed to be outraged. I'm not outraged. I'm fine with this. Why? Former state rep Lon Burnham and E.J. Carey in both the Fort Worth cuffed and stuffed and charged. Free speech does not mean anyone can cause whatever chaos they want, nor does it mean you can speak at a business meeting in an unlimited amount of time on every issue you choose to do. That's what Judge O'Hare said. Tarrant County District Attorney Phil Sorrells said in a statement that Lon Burnham has been warned about the rules of decorum. He's a former state rep. At previous meetings, Burnham was also kicked out of the July meeting. They're purposely causing chaos to try to take over the things and stop the way the conservatively elected government is, and it's not going to work. And so they have to be arrested when they don't, when they act out and they violate rules and they swear, like this one guy did, and they cause chaos and won't stop when they're being told you're not following the rules. They have to do that. I told you I went to the regular meetings month after month to make sure that Wiley School District either fired or was held accountable for refusing to fire Tiffany Doolin, the former disgraced principal at Wiley East. We went month after month, and when they told you you're doing something you're not allowed to do, I complied, and everybody that wanted to be in line complied. That's how it is. If I didn't comply, I'd expect to be thrown out or arrested, and that's what these people have been thrown out before, so they got arrested and charged. Last week, this disruptive conduct in the commissioner's court crossed the line and demanded action, said Sorrells. When behavior violates the law, there are consequences. The whole thing was captured on video, so we can all see it. Democrat Commissioner Roderick Miles Jr. says Carrion's arrest deeply disturbs him because he's a person of color. When a man of color is pulled over early morning hours and taken into custody on a warrant connected to what occurred while he was speaking at a public event, we cannot look at these. We cannot look. Hold on. At the moment in isolation. Oh, so it's okay for a white guy to get arrested for doing it, but not a black guy. Get out of here. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups is being sued because they say that the pumpkin peanut butter cup, these are summer editions. What do they call it? Summerine or summer tween? The Halloween-themed celebration for summer months. Summerween, they call it. Well, the guy's suing because it doesn't look like this. Let's see what the new one looks, the one that he pulled out of a box looks like. Now, is that so drastic that you would file a lawsuit? What kind of a cretin would file a lawsuit? I mean, it's not that big of a deal, is it? It's the right shape. And look, it even has these pumpkin ridges, the round ridges around like a pumpkin, and the little stem at the top. It doesn't have a smiley face. Get over it, dude. Unbelievable. So stupid. So stupid. What's wrong with people, right? All right, this show's been brought to you by IRSprob.com, IRSPROB.com, helping good people with IRS problems, specializing in IRS controversy, IRS audits, and tax planning.